Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Dennis Konuszewski.
What an incredible honor. I thank each and every one of you for your support. I couldn't be more proud of this accomplishment. This ranks up there with some of the best things that I've been a part of. So I do appreciate everybody that, that was a part of this, and thank you all for being here tonight. As I was sitting in the cornfield, goose hunting, concentrating and trying to think of what I wanted to say, this kept on coming up to me is motivation. And like my brother was talking on the screen, what I bring to baseball and what I bring to kids is I try to bring passion and motivation to what you're taking a part of. And honestly, in life, if you're passionate and you're motivated to complete it or to do it, you succeed and you're beating the system. That's what life's all about, is passionate, motivating things that you care about. Now, not to go off on a tangent, but like motivation, and obviously there must have been some incredible motivating people that did something to help me be worthy of this accomplishment. And starting off, I would have to say is my father, my dad, who's not. He passed in 2013, but that was my best buddy that I loved, that did everything for me, and I tried to style my parenthood after this man, because he was, I don't know, I could talk forever about him, but he was a great person, and I hope that he can look down and see this night. My mom, and again, this is what motivates me, is the people that you're from, the people that you're raised with, that you live with. And my mom will be celebrating her 90th birthday on November the 13th. I never made a bad pitch. I never made a bad play in my life, according to my mother. She was great. But other than complaining about practices being held on too long and she waiting in the parking lot to pick me up, that's the only real complaint that I can remember her having about me playing sports. Just a couple thank yous, and I want to single out a couple people that I think that were big time instrumental with me receiving this induction. Lewis Mitchell, thank you. Richard Curry, I don't think you're here today because you came over and talked to me, but anyways, if Richard was a big time promoter, sometimes it was a little embarrassing from all the things that I could hear him saying about me being up for this induction, but I do appreciate you and your kind words. I want to also talk and thank my brothers. And when I'm talking about a system of motivation and passion, I had 4 older brothers, and all of them were much older than me. 10 years was the closest, was my brother Gary. Now this guy Gary, he was the most competitive human being in the face of the earth. Now, when I was little, I would try to beat him in basketball, and he would do whatever he could to prevent that from happening. I would go in the house bleeding, and it was difficult for me to overcome that obstacle. He did not let me win anything. If I had a high score on a video game and I went to school, he would beat my score and then print off a Polaroid and tape it on my door, so when I got home, I knew that he beat my score when I was gone. and I love that guy. And I think about my brother Don, and he was at every game. When I try to get old-time video clips of me playing and being able to remember some of those things, and I don't live in the past, and I don't. It's kind of embarrassing, and I don't really look at the scrapbooks and think about it, just because I just always did my best, and if I got accolades, great. I didn't care. I had what I had, and I really wasn't, I don't know, all into that. But now as I'm older and being able to look at some of those things that I accomplished, and a lot of it, like Don was there videotaping, and I could hear his voice and my dad's voice and people cheering me and yelling at umpires. It was like so sweet to hear my dad asking where that pitch was, and it was a good memory, and it was good to see those things. My brother Jim, just a loyal human that was always there supporting, and that right there is a solid foundation to be able to accomplish great things when you have the blessing of a mom and a dad and the brothers that care so deeply and just probably want it more for me than I wanted for myself. And that was probably part of that motivation that I'm speaking about, is wanting not to let people down, but to do it for them. And then if you do it for them and you're motivated and you're passionate enough, then you achieve things, and then great things can happen. I had lifelong friends that were there through the thick and thin, that would, keep track of what was going on. Tommy Mack, Tom Kelly, Kevin Nigel, Bill Weston, Mo Hopgood. These dudes they're there forever. Like, I don't care if I don't see them for 10 years, I walk in and see them, you hug, just people that, part of that foundation and part of that motivation for me wanting to do things right. And coaches along the way, and some of them that just really stand out to me. Dave Hart was a coach that I had, and there were steps along the way when I was playing baseball. There were steps that I always, in my mind, wanted to challenge myself. Okay, if you can do this, then you did really good. This is what you got to do. So, like, I don't know, the first thing that I can really think of is when I was in the 7th grade at Bridgeport School. I want to make that 8th grade team in the 7th grade. And Dave Hart was the coach of that, and he motivated me, like he did some things, and that was like a goal that I had. I made that team. Great. So then you're on to the next step. So what do I think of there? Okay, I want to play varsity when I make it to high school. Bridgeport School didn't have freshmen. Freshmen weren't part of the high school, so you had to wait till the 10th grade. But that was a goal of mine. When I get to 10th grade, if I can make that varsity team, maybe I made it. That's pretty good. So I got there, and I was blessed enough to throw pretty hard. That helped a little bit. So yeah, I did. I made that varsity team in 10th grade. So then you're on to the next goal. Man, I'm on the varsity. What can I do? What can I reach next? I just want to get recruited. And I remember the first time that I got a letter was I don't know, it was like North Alabama something or other. But I was so excited that I got a college letter that I was like, wow, man, I'm gonna play college baseball. If I play college baseball, I made it. And then, then things get better, and things get better, and then each step along the way. But some of these coaches, not only Dave Hart, but I had Dick Pope. Dick Pope was the first time that I won a state championship was for Coach Pope with the Blue Jays. That was awesome. I remember that, and that was part of a team of learning how to succeed and how to be good. Coach Andrzejewski, like Coach Andy, to me is the epitome of class. Like a guy that, if you wouldn't run through a wall for Coach Andy, then you have a problem. Because this guy, you can see in the way that he talks, and the way that he coaches, and the way that he teaches, that he cares about you, and he's passionate, and he wants to win. And if you can't play for that guy, I have nothing to say. That's the kind of guy that he is. Coach Andy is a Hall of Famer and a Hall of Fame person. Wendell Niemer, Wendell's not here with us anymore, but he's also a Hall of Famer. This guy was legit. Wendell Niemer is something that Saginaw and I don't want to keep on rambling about, youth sports and travel sports, but Wendell Niemer was a person that made a big time impact on a lot of kids in this area. I told Wendell I wanted to play college ball, and that was part of he actually got me the letter from the Alabama school. But I told him I wanted to play. He said, "Where do you want to play at?" And I said, "I'd like to play at Hawaii. I want to play at Arizona. I want to play at Miami, Florida. I want to play Florida State." And then, literally within a week, I had a letter from the Hawaii Rainbows, and I had a phone call from Arizona, and he just was there doing it, and he was trying to make it happen for me, and that was an experience to play for Mean Stamping and for Bridgeport for Coach Andy. And another coach that I want to recognize is Bill Freehand. I had Coach Freehand at Michigan, and he took over a program that was clouded with probation issues. When I got recruited there, now I love Michigan. I bleed maize and blue. And those victories these last few weeks, I feel like I'm in the locker room jumping up and down with that group, so I'm hyped. And when I went there, I knew that we were in a little bit of we were going to be in some problem just because some things that happened, they weren't major, but they were going to be disciplinary reasons to affect scholarships and whatnot, but my scholarship would be intact. Bill Freehand took over, and this guy was a classy human. He was a legend for the Tigers, being part of that '68 team. And now Freehand right now he's in hospice care, and I just read about that, and honestly it breaks my heart because this man was as humble and as respectful to every human. You'd ride in an airplane going on a train or on a plane flight to a trip, and it didn't matter if there were 50 people waiting for him outside that plane. He would sit there and sign individually for each person that was waiting for him. He never disrespected somebody. He never blew somebody off. He was a world-class human and a world-class coach. And I send prayers out to his family. And as far as some of those motivational things that I was speaking about, and I thank all those people that helped. And like I said, another thing is if you get born into a family, and thank goodness I was so lucky to get born into who I was born with, the Konuszewskis and my brothers, and then all of a sudden you get to a point you have to make your own decisions, and it's not who you're born with, it's who you choose. And I picked this woman. She was my first overall draft pick, and that's my wife. That's my wife, Marcia. She is. I tell her she's a tutor. She's a construction worker. She's a computer engineer. She's everything because she's able to make my life easy, and to have a teammate like her, that is something special. So I'm very thankful that I have that, along with my kids, Allie and Quinn, who sometimes challenge me, but I do love them dearly. Just to try to close on a couple things that I do apologize if I left people out that were impactful. There's another quick couple shots. Sully, Scott Weiss, Aaron Elverson. These guys are friends that I've gotten really tight with, and I thank you guys for being here. Those steps in the goals that I had, and I'll kind of wrap this up. But like I said, when I was in high school, I wanted to get recruited. So then I made it to Michigan. I got there, and in my mind, mentally, I'm trying to think all along. I'm trying to please all these people. They support me. They help me. But I was a big pusher myself. I didn't accept mediocrity. I wanted to win, and probably that was part of my brother Gary coming off on me, but I wanted to be the best. So when I did get to Michigan, I said, I gotta make this rotation. I can make the starting rotation. I made the starting rotation. For a second there, you think, okay, I made it. I made that goal. But then it's next. Okay, what's next? I just want to get drafted. If I could get drafted, that would solidify my baseball career. I did everything that I want if I could just, get paid to play. It happened. I feel great. Did I feel like I made it for a second? And then I went on to the next thing. And as I was at spring training, playing with all these unbelievable athletes, I thought, if I can make it to AA baseball, then I truly made it, because AA is where the prospects are. That means you separated yourself from the others. AA baseball is where it's at. If I can make it there, I'll never ask for another thing. Let me get there. That had happened. I felt like I made it for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? Where else can I go? Well, let me make the 40-man. I make the 40-man. Everything's great for a time being. Did I make it? You know what? I just want to play one day. Give me one day in the show, and then I made it. And if anyone knows me, like I said, I don't. The big league, I had a short, brief appearance in the big leagues and then got sent back down. And to me, it's like kind of embarrassing, because it wasn't a career that I envisioned. It wasn't what I would hope. I thought that I was going to be able to get up there and play forever and succeed. And I got a brief stint, and I got sent down, and I'm thinking, I'm not really proud of that. I kind of failed. I don't feel like I made it. It hurts a little bit. I'm a little embarrassed. Hugh called me for an interview and put together this article about my career, and I asked him, I said, please, Hugh, can you leave that short appearance in the big leagues out of the article? I'd rather have you just say 6 years of pro baseball rather than played briefly in the big leagues, because I feel like I maybe let people down. I let myself down. I didn't do all that I had wanted to do, so I didn't necessarily make it. And now, years after, and I'm sitting at 47, and I care everything about my kids, and I just want them to succeed, and those games are more important than my own. And like I don't know, I just want to be happy. I just want to be passionate. I just want to love what I do and love the people I'm with. And now, I think about it, and I see what's happening tonight, and what a group of people, the class that I'm going in, this freaking crazy good athletes and coaches, and I think maybe I did make it. I did make it. I made something tonight that it makes me feel good. So I wish I could walk around and shake everybody's here's hand and say thank you for your support and thank you for being here, but I love Saginaw. I'm always forever going to be proud that my jacket and my glove and my stuff's going to be in this hall, and I appreciate tonight.
Thank you.